Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Keri Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. Good morning. I've had a really busy week because I was on vacation for nearly half of July, which was awesome. And we had 2 family vacations, which, as you guys know, if you've got kids especially, you're just taking care of the kids in a different fucking place. Like, let's be real. So it was enjoyable. I was present. I blocked off my calendar to be fully there and not plugged in. And that was glorious. And if we're being really fucking real, and you guys know that I always keep it real on here, now I feel like I need a vacation from my vacation with family, because no one triggers you like family. No one pushes all your wounds like family. You know, who is it that says, if you think you're healed and enlightened, go spend some time with your family. And it just reminds you of your humanness. So anyway, I've got my coffee. It's a Friday. I've got some time to record a podcast here in between meetings. My first curly haircut and style, which you guys know I've been super excited about. I talked about that on a previous podcast. But I wanted to share something with you that I have really struggled with throughout the years of being an entrepreneur, but more importantly, being a creative entrepreneur. And here's why. Here's what that thing is. Over the years, because my creativity is absolutely one of my zones of genius, I come up with really great ideas. I write well, and I have a design degree, actually. So all the graphics that you see, I have done, except for my podcast cover. Shout out to Darren Peel. He's my web guy. And if you ever want a new website, definitely let him know that I sent you. He's amazing, and I haven't trusted anyone with my website more than him. And he's been so incredible. Anyway, something I have massively struggled with as a creative entrepreneur is people ripping my shit off, right? Downright copying and pasting posts, word for fucking word, and then putting their picture to it. I mean, it's crazy. Recently, I came across somebody who started using my Somatic Success trademark, and I found them through the hashtag. And I looked at their Instagram bio, and I kid you the fuck not, their Instagram bio is literally the same exact bio as me. Now, over the course of 6 months and market research and testing a bunch of different things as we've built out a new product suite, we arrived at that tagline. So that was the distillation of the creative process over collectively probably a half year or more. And so it feels like, my experience of that is, it feels like a violation when someone takes the distillation of the creative process and uses it and makes it look like their own. But I mean, if we're being honest, I've honestly had this happen over a number of years. So I'll give you an example. It's 2012. I'm hosting a fitness weekend here in Atlanta. I had just moved here. I was hosting more of like a boot camp style weekend. I had some women fly in to come train with me. It was super fun. I had this idea for the swag bags that I'm going to create these workout apparel tanks. And on the tanks were sayings like muscle and mascara, lunges and lip gloss, kettlebells and kisses, pavement and pearls. Those were kind of later, but it was muscle and mascara and lunges and lip gloss. What was the other one? Deadlifts and diamonds. And I wanted to come up with these, really fun tank tops to gift everybody that was coming to the experience. And so I never had the intention of selling these, to the public, if you will. And at the time, if we're being honest, I really didn't have much of a following anyway. It was like, hey, Mom, can you like my post? And asking my sister, hey, Chrissy, can you go comment on that thing? I never had the intention of these taking off. But I posted a picture of the tank top, and it said something to the effect of, I can't wait to give these to the Ignite girls that are coming this weekend for the fitness experience, the fitness boot camp. And people went crazy. They're like, I want one. I want one. Do you have this in a size small? And I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect this. So fast forward, I think it was that summer We had hundreds of orders over the summer. I had to hire an intern to help me get out the orders in a timely fashion. We had them screen printed by this guy in Florida. And, it just started taking off. Now, as these things are taking off, what I always do is I make sure that there's nothing in the market like it before I launch something, even if it was just meant for this really like hand-picked, cherry-picked crowd. And the reason I do that is because I want to know that what I'm creating hasn't yet been seen. Although my mentor reminds me that there's no original thought or idea. But I want to know that it's not already in the marketplace. And so I look, there is nothing like it. Nobody has these things. I've never even heard of Muscles and Mascara. So I launched the tank top line and they take off. And I start noticing them show up on Etsy. And if you Google it, it starts to be like 10 shops, 20 shops, 30 shops, 40. You can't even keep up with it. And later on, it was about a year, it was probably a year later. Now, mind you, these had been in the marketplace since 2012. I think it wasn't until later in 2013 or early 2014. Guess who picks them up? Target. Target starts mass printing and producing Muscles and Mascara. And I think it was Lunges and Lipstick or Lunges. They did copy the Lunges and Lip Gloss. I can't remember. But it was Muscles and Mascara that was like by far and away the favorite that people would take and run with. And Academy Sports and Wet Seal. And they started mass producing them. So here I am, with an intern I'm barely able to afford paying in my home office with all of this screen printed stock, small, medium, large, all the sizes, extra, extra large, in all the colors. There's 5 different varieties at this point. And we just sit with the stock until we sell it. So we pay for everything up front. And they were $12.25 per tank to get printed. Now, Target is selling them for $10 with free shipping, I think it was. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I can't even compete with that. So as a result, we start seeing sales go down because now if you just Google that tank top or you look on Etsy, you can get it from anywhere. Now it's a movement. It's a movement. And now, although I had hundreds of people buy the tank tops, it never got to the point where it took off to be bigger than Target. And so I really felt burned by that experience because I'm like, fuck, I can't even get ahead here. I can't even have an idea that's mine that I get credit for that hasn't left me in the dust. And so that intern went off to college and I was left with a whole bunch of extra stock in my office. I remember it was just sitting there. It was just sitting in the office. And I either ended up giving away tank tops or selling them for crazy discounts, at cost, just to move the stock. And then we stopped selling them. And so anyway, it was a whole thing. If I really wanted to go down the road of pursuing IP, intellectual property, I probably would have had to get legal involved. I probably would have had to try and trademark these before I even put them on the marketplace, which is what I learned. Even though you can't really technically claim IP with words. Exactly. You can claim concepts. And so I made the mistake of not trademarking things before they were in the marketplace. And also, you still can't police everything, right? I got to the point where I was like, honestly, it's just too emotionally taxing to even think about policing this and sending cease and desist things to Etsy people. And for what? The point is, if you're a creator, you're going to be copied. You're going to be copied. But the good news is that nobody can be you. Nobody can be you. It's kind of like your fingerprint. No one can have it. Truly. So they can copy your idea, but they can't copy your essence. If something feels off or watered down, it's probably because it is. Right? And so I refuse to let myself go down that rabbit hole now. And I've definitely self-coached myself around this. I've definitely received coaching around this from my mentor. And I just thought it was really important to share with you because I imagine I'm not the only one that's been copied. I'm not the only one whose frameworks have been postured as other people's. And I'm not the only one who has felt like they didn't get credit and damn it, that's not fair. And so I just want to let you know, it's going to happen. And so you get to choose if you're going to police it or you're going to move on and purpose your time instead, right? You have an option, police or purpose. And I'm going to use that fire and I'm going to direct it into what's the next idea because that shit comes easy for me. And if you're a creator, I bet that comes easy for you too. So I don't know if you find yourself in that situation from time to time. If you've experienced that, it's frustrating, it can be hurtful, and you have an option. You have an option. How can you purpose your gifts to just move on to the next idea, create the next best big thing? Because if that is abundant within you, and it is, and it's your zone of genius, there's going to be another idea. There's going to be another thing. And guess what? With that, there'll be other people that copy it. There'll be other people that rip it off. But nobody can compare it to the original version, right? Jake and I were talking. He's like, babe, you're Gucci. You're Gucci. Like, people go into the Gucci store to get a Gucci bag. They don't go into the Gucci store to get a knockoff, to get a ripoff. That's not what they're going in there for. They're going for like the real thing. And there's only one Gucci, and there's only one place you can get it. And it's in the Gucci fucking store. So stay Gucci. I'll see you guys on the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon.
Seriously though, thanks for listening. If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithkeri.com and we'll see you inside.